Last week, Jeffrey commented that Tamahiko wasn't using his bike on the way to Tokyo, and at the time I was more on the side of giving Tamahiko the benefit of the doubt, as that might be just the framing and that he's not actually going to walk. Then, at the start of this episode, well, he actually did not use his bike, which is a questionable decision to say the least, as the earthquake didn't necessarily made all roads to Tokyo untraversable. Probably an oversight by the writing team, and something that kinda irritated me a bit other than that is how for most of the search and rescue operation for Yuzu, we're pretty much speed running here. Normally, when a disaster happens in a show, regardless if it's anime or not, the pacing tends to be extremely slow. Because the narrative wants to rub it in your face how catastrophic the disaster was. And while this episode did show various scenarios of the aftermath of the earthquake in Tokyo, I can't help but notice that most of them were fleeting moments and we didn't really have the time to digest it. Basically, it's as if the writing is trying to get out of this situation altogether and make a return to the happy go lucky days of the previous episodes. I mean, I don't know. Probably another example of the writing team having a hard time when it comes to portraying heavy topics, which at this point isn't anything new to me or to some of my subscribers. In any case, our boy has eventually found our girl, and all that is left for the final episode is the return trip back to their home. And gonna be honest here, Chief, but I didn't feel like I was watching this episode. I felt detached. I was watching this episode. I mean, everyone knows. You know, I know, everyone knows that Yuzu won't die. So, given that obvious reality, I had to watch this episode from a different angle, and in that angle, I decided to watch it in a way that I wanted to immerse myself with the aftermath of the Great Kanto earthquake as seen here. But because of the fast pacing that we got here, the immersion was basically ruined. And yeah, I wasn't able to see how bad it is. I mean, there were examples of it, but I don't feel it was enough because the pacing was just too fast. And with that said, that's basically it for this episode. Another hiccup by the writers, I suppose. And as always, I thank you all for watching and see you guys next week for the finale of this series.